This guitar means so much to me as far as getting a PRS was like winning a prize. So getting a Paul Reed Smith Dragon III was like winning life. I loved watching the movie Airheads with Brendan Fraser and Adam Sandler and Steve Buscemi, Harold Ramis, Michael McKean. One of the greatest movies ever made. Literally right up there with Spinal Tap, Airheads. And one of the demands that Brendan Fraser with his bandmates, the Lone Rangers, made when they take over the radio station, they hold everybody hostage and Chris Farley has to come out and make sure everything's under control, is that they want a Paul Reed Smith Dragon. Brendan Fraser goes on stage with Paul Reed Smith Dragon. You know what he does? He smashes it! Because that's rock and roll, baby. If getting a $20,000 guitar and smashing it on stage isn't rock and roll, well, I don't want to be a part of that because that was horrifying to watch, but very cool in the movie Airheads. So when I first got signed with my band Carve, and I think it was '99 we started working, the first thing my manager did was give me a custom 22 with the 10 top and the birds. And I've said this before, but I was at my Northeastern dorm, my economy triple, living with two other dudes. I had my whole CD collection all over the walls. These guys had no space. I'm like literally a pack rat. By the way, I have a new guitar and it's gonna live in our room and I'm gonna constantly touch it all the time because I slept with my custom 22 the first night that I got it. This was in a time when there was record labels. This is 99, 2000. This is a time when people actually paid to have records done. This is a time when people actually paid for records. And I'm so lucky that I got to experience that side of the music industry before everybody was just like, no, this is a joke. My buddy came up to me and he said, hey, if you could get 3 electric guitars and 3 acoustic guitars, what would you get? One of the top 3 electric guitars, besides, obviously a 59 burst, was a Paul Reed Smith Dragon III. And this was the last of the real Dragons, as they called it, because there's the Dragon 1, 2, and 3. They made 100 of them. And then after that, they started getting more opulent and all over the body. And they're all amazing looking. In fact, they've gotten more ridiculous. There's the double Dragon. I mean, they're wild. This is the OG Dragon. This is the best of the 3 OG Dragons, in my opinion, and that's why I wanted it. I remember the guys at Guitar Center going, what do you mean you want a Dragon 3? Yeah, no, I want a Dragon 3. And they called up Guitar Center and they had 2 of them in the store. So they actually shipped them across the country for me to play. And I ended up picking this one because the top was nicer. I gotta be real with you, I don't remember the top and the other one being particularly nice. And one thing I found is that you can buy Paul Reed Smiths right off the line right now that have nicer tops than these Dragons. And some of them have almost as crazy of an inlay. Not quite. The first thing I remember thinking was, and I can tell you, I feel it now, this is a heavy guitar. I gotta say this is probably like 9.5 pounds. This is solid African mahogany. And I'll even go on record as saying it's nothing special, it's nondescript. I mean, maybe it sounds great. Maybe Paul just said this is super resonant, I don't know. This is number 65 of a run of 100. And as you can see, the 4 marks 1994 for these Dragons, which are essentially a custom 22 with the hardtail, which as I've gotten older, I'm not a fan of the hardtail. I like the tremolo, I like the 24 frets, but this is a beautiful, beautiful guitar. It has a Brazilian rosewood fretboard, which let's get to the fretboard, man. 238 pieces of abalone, green abalone, mother of pearl, mammoth ivory. Yeah, that's right, you see the little bits of white in there? That's woolly freaking mammoth. So now you can get private stock stuff that's way crazier than this. But that's because for 20 years, people have seen the Dragons and they say, I want my own Dragon, I want my own thing. And they've invented this. And Paul Reed Smith said, yeah, we have something called the private stock and we'll do this. But back in 1994, if you wanted the wildest, craziest guitar with freaking mammoth ivory and Brazilian rosewood and gold and stone inlaid on it, the creme de la creme was the Paul Reed Smith Dragon. I remember I went to Longview Farm Studios, RIP, great place. Black Sabbath recorded there, Creed recorded there, Stained, Living Color, Rolling Stones, all kinds of amazing people. And I remember showing up to the studio and I'm sitting in front of a Trident board that recorded a bunch of Queen records with my boy Scott Riebling, who's an incredible producer, played in a band called Letters to Cleo, played with Weezer for a hot second. We plugged this guitar in and I had like 3 other PRSs and To our ears, through the Marshalls we were playing through at that moment, this guitar sounded like poo-poos. I remember playing 1 or 2 gigs with this guitar because I was a psycho, because in '99, you still would show up to the gig and be like, oh yeah? You got a Les Paul Custom? I'm just gonna rock only for 3 songs. It's Dragon 3. I was that guy. If there's any belt buckle marks on this, which there's really not a lot because I don't remember playing this very much because I didn't like it. It's got, like, I think it's a wide, fat neck. It's a really nice feel to it. I know for a fact that my tastes have changed since 1999. Many people make fun of me for having my Les Pauls with my EMGs, which was my metal sound. I was in a progressive metal band. So at the time, Dragon pickups, which I think were still supposed to be kind of hot-rodded, seemed kind of to me. But I haven't plugged this guitar in over 20 years. I chose this one off the rack. It was my girl for a little bit. I gave it back because I didn't need a Paul Reed Smith Dragon 3. I was living in crappy apartments trying to pay my bills and I didn't want to have to sell it to live. I gave it to my friend and now I have it back. I guess it comes down to, do I want to smash it like Brendan Fraser in Airheads, or do I want to bring it back home with me to Boston? Let's plug her in. I was into EMGs. I was like 19. Or something when I first got this guitar. Maybe I was 20. Yeah, man, I probably would have been a man and Zakk Wylde and put EMGs in it. So I'm glad that I put it back in the case and said, just take this away from me. I'm plugged into the Kemper over there. It's doing things. And we got a clean sound. It's got maybe a little bit of delay and reverb. I don't know, but it sounds good and whatever. Lead pickup. I use that one. That's all the button. What way was I churning? Well, I will say this. I really like how this guitar plays. I remember it being heavy, and it is, like, it's gotta be 9.5 pounds. Like, this feels like it should be a Les Paul Custom. Which I guess, like, if you're buying a $20,000 PRS and you want to feel the value, like you're Adam Jones from Tool, you want to get a heavy one because you're like, oh, well, where do they put all the money? But like, whatever. It sounds good. I got to tell you, I have a lot of PRSs, and by no means do these Dragon pickups call to me like the T&Bs. In fact, what I think I should do is I should get like a set of T&B pickups, you know, the old school like 80s T&Bs, and just take these Dragon pickups and throw them out the freaking window and just put T&Bs in it. And someone says, oh, you modded the Dragon? Yeah, with real T&Bs. And there's a lot of things that T&B could stand for, but in this case, it's treble and bass. Those are, for me, the Valhalla of pickups. Like, instead of the Gibson PAF, which is right up there for me, the Gibson PAF and the Paul Reed Smith T&B. Yeah, totally. I mean, but here's the thing. I don't think Kirk Hammett plays it right. What is it? Come play it, Paza. What is it? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. My bandmate in Lost Symphony, Cory Paza, thinks he can up me with his... But give me some Sanitarium. change the pickup. It's a demo. It sounds good when you play it.
I don't know which pickups I've done.
Yeah, dude, right?
Yeah, I'd rather have a toggle.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like up, down, or in the middle. It's hard enough that there's a dragon inlaid and I can't tell what one's the 5th fret.
I was just gonna say, I was like, I can't see where I'm at.
Like, where are you?
God damn it. The hardest lick.
It is the hardest lick in history.
It's a tone.
Can you explain to people why that's such a hard riff?
It's more, so the actual grouping and like the way that the chords are fingered is difficult, but then the picking pattern is very counterintuitive because of the open string.
Yeah.
So you're thinking that it's, you know, if you want to go lower, you'd go further up the strings, but really your low note is on this high string, so it's just a bit of a mind f***.
Like a dragon on your fretboard?
Yeah, it's just, I'm completely tripped out by this guitar. That's the wrong key.
Can you give me a metal tone?
Cory emailed me like late at night, probably a little drunk, was like, great job, but by the way, you're playing For Whom the Bell Tolls wrong.
I'm an asshole, sorry. Second fret.
Come play it right. No, come on, asshole, come on.
First of all, it's the F sharp D. Right. Then what?
Is that on the lead? Yeah, that is the lead. See, I feel like, does that tone kind of sound fuzzy to you? As far as I don't like those pickups.
Up to the B. For a while.
Give me the lead though on every single channel though now. Dude, that rotary is terrible.
Yeah,
right?
it feels like there should be more, so I don't know how many I just did.
Yeah, and then you don't know what way you went. You're like, I'm lost in the labyrinth.
It's numbered 1 to 10, but it has 1, 2,
Yeah, well, I'm also-
3,
it's 5.
4, 5.
Time marches on. First off, I want to say we learned something today, that if you ever see a cover band playing The Killers, Mr. Brightside, and the guitar player's not messing up, that dude's awesome. It's way harder to play Mr. Brightside perfectly than to sit here and go. I was just doing Kegels while I did that. I hate these pickups. I don't like them. I like the guitar. I think it's pretty. It's kind of like the super, super hot girl that you used to date, but then like she has so many problems that like you just find yourself very unhappy and not believing in yourself. It's kind of how I feel about this Dragon. It's probably why I put it back in a case and didn't open it for 20 years. But it's cool. Why don't you smash that subscribe button already?